Okay, I'm just going to show you how I use the 45,000 in DL4. First, I've got the microphone here. It's just a 1/4 inch microphone. There's some, actually it's got an 1/8 inch input, but it's also got a 1/4 inch adapter there, as you can tell. Anyways, I have that going into the input left side, which is mono input. And then I have from there going to the, I'm going to flip this around, the mono output. Where am I at? Focus. The mono output. There's also an expression pedal and a 9 volt optional power supply. I just use, there's 4C batteries in here. I just use those. Anyways, from that output, I go to the input of the 45,000. There's a right input and a left input, similar to the other one, but these have separate volume control knobs. Right now I have a left input going into a little keyboard that I've got, and the right input coming in from the DL4. It also has an auxiliary input, which is the little 1/8 inch cable you see on a cell phone or a little handheld CD player. Then there's a left output and a right output. And there's also a headphone and a monitor output. Well, the headphone and the monitor output, they have this little click track where you can stay on time. You can kind of hear it. Well, you can also adjust the tempo for there if you want to go fast or slow. Those output to the headphone and monitor, but not to the left and right. So if you're on stage, that would go to your audience, and this would go to you, so you could, keep on track. There's also a foot controller, as you've seen or as you could probably look up on YouTube and find. Reggie Watts has a demonstration of this with a foot controller. There's also a MIDI input and a MIDI out. Those mainly are used for the external clock. That way, if you have some other things going and you want to loop it, then it can use that as a timing system. It has a 9 volt, 200 milliamp an hour power supply. And then there's a 4 gigabyte card and a USB input on the side here. On the little controls here, you can see there's, dang, it won't focus. There's a quantize mode, which means, say, if you wanted 4 bars of 4 beats, you would just hit this, have this on, and then hit this on the third or the 4th bar, and it would finish out that bar before it looped back over, using the tempo. There's also a reverse and an octave buttons to where you can go down an octave, or you can reverse your playing. There's a punch in button, which you can punch in your tempo. And then from there, I have it going into a 1/4 inch to RCA adapter. The RCA adapter is going into my little stereo here, or home amplifier. I picked it up at a yard sale pretty cheap, and then that goes into a set of stand-up speakers here. And that's how I've got it set up, and that's how I use the DL4 and the 45,000.